So we've spent a few years visiting with you about how you live in a vibrational universe, and it's hard for you to get that because it seems to be very tangible to you. There's no point really in talking to you about the vibrational makeup of any of these things that are so obviously physical. You can tell me it's vibrational all you want, Abraham, but I see a chair and I really like this fabric. And so talk about the vibration of it if you must, but I'm a physical human here in a physical body, and I'm used to looking at chandeliers and lights and room dimensions and measurements and what everybody's wearing or not wearing and so forth. I like to see and hear and smell and taste and touch my vibrational reality. And we say, yes, you do, and we want you to, because this is the leading edge of thought, and that is where the greatest satisfaction is ever experienced in all of the creative universe, of which we are all a part. And you said, I'll go forth into this tangible environment, and from my awareness of what's going on there, I will come to new and improved conclusions and decisions and preferences and desires, knowing that source energy then will follow the path of my new desire, and that then I will be the recipient, the liver of. I will get to drive the new car, I will get to experience the new technology, I will get to eat the new food and live in the new environments and dwell in the new dwellings. I get to live in this leading edge environment. But you didn't come to just live in this leading edge environment. You came as a creator of this leading edge environment, and you will never be happy if you are only in an observational state. You will never be happy if you remain only in a reactionary state. You can't just observe and react and get to the improvement. It does not work that way. At some point early on in your understanding of this 3-step or 4-step or 5-step, we can put 100 steps on it. The first 3 are the ones that we really want you to focus upon. Step 1 is you ask, step 2 is source answers, and step 3 is you got to let the answer in. You've got to tune into the vibrational frequency of the vibrational request that you have made, of the vibrational now reality that now exists, before you can allow yourself to see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it. So what we're really asking of you is something that is the most natural thing in the world to you, but you have practiced otherwise, so it doesn't feel natural. What we're asking you to do is to think less specifically about the things that aren't working out the way you want them to, and think more specifically about the things that are working out the way you want them to. Rather than look at the problem and define it and then attempt to solve it from your awareness of the problem, which is never something that will work out for you, because when you're looking at the problem, you're a vibrational match to the problem. You're perpetuating the problem. You are in the receiving mode of more of the problem. You have to find a way to identify the problem and then back off from your awareness of the problem and see it as a request for something different, and then find a way to be a match, a vibrational match, an emotional match to the new and improved that you are asking for. And that's really why you came. Not because things need to get done, and not because things are broken that need to be fixed, but because it's oh so fun to get to bring your awareness into an environment where you specifically and importantly choose what matters to you, and then you find the vibrational stance that lets the universe deliver it to you. When you get to witness that, what you're really witnessing is your personal attunement to your personal desires. And what most people are mostly witnessing is their personal attunement to a reality that already exists, to which they are having a knee-jerk response. So you kind of have to decide, am I a creator or a regurgitator? Do I create my own reality, or do I just keep observing what is and keep being a part of regurgitating more of that? There's a war against this and that and the other. There's a war against so many things, and everything that there's a war against, things are getting bigger, because when you look at something, wanted or unwanted, you become a vibrational match to it, and law of attraction makes you part of the swelling of it, of the growing of it, of the evolution of it, you see. Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? Yes. You are knowing what you are wanting? Yes. It feels good for that to come into clarity, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Desire feels good, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? When desire feels good, you're in a place of being ready for the next inspiration and the next and the next. When desire feels good to you, then you are on your path of living happily ever after. If you have something that you want, especially those desires that you have wanted for a while, and you have not been able to identify consciously a clear path to the receiving of them, a clear path to the manifestation of them, then sometimes, nearly always, you begin to feel discord. You call it impatience or disappointment or even fear, doubt. Sometimes you feel blame of others or unworthiness that it hasn't come to you, or irritation that the same kinds of things are coming to other people but not to you. And so when your desire doesn't feel good to you, it's not on track, and that's why it doesn't feel good to you. We want to put it into a way that you can twirl it around in your mind a little bit so that you can realize that if it doesn't feel good, you're not on your path. And it's not difficult to get onto your path, but it doesn't help to proceed with a vibrational stance that just isn't letting it unfold for you. It would be like knowing that there's a treasure buried somewhere in your backyard, and it's a big backyard, and you know it's out there, but you have no treasure map, so you have no sense of where it is, and so you have to dig up the whole backyard. And after a while of digging and making a mess of everything and still not finding it, you begin to feel discouraged, and sometimes you get more and more bold. You get bigger and bigger things to dig with. You involve more people in the digging. You make a bigger and bigger and bigger mess of everything, but you still don't find what you're looking for because you're going about it in a way that won't work. So we might as well just start off today with a very bold statement, not only to get your attention, but because, well, it's mostly to get your attention, but it's also something that is absolute and very important for you to understand. Sometimes you just cannot get there from where you are, and that sounds different from what you usually hear from us, because you count on us as being your optimistic friends who say you can be or do or have anything that you want. And while that is still true, sometimes you cannot get to where you want to be from where you currently are. But we're talking about your vibrational stance, and what we're really talking about is that sometimes you, fairly frequently, almost always, that what you are doing is you are wanting to get to a different place from where you are. You are approaching it from your physical, it's so nice to be physical, observational, it's so nice to have the ability to see and hear and smell and taste and touch, from this very tangible, manifest things into a reality where I and others can see them. So often you want it to be about something that is not parked in your garage yet, that you want to be parked in your garage, and there's an element of dissatisfaction within you as long as this beautiful new vehicle that you want is not parked in your garage. And there's something about you, human creatures that you are, that causes you to go to the garage and notice it isn't there, and in your awareness of its absence you continue a vibration that makes it very difficult for you to find the path to it. And we get how you would be that way, because You were born into an environment with all of your observational ability, and your observational ability is essential to why you are here. It's what allows step one of the creative process to happen at all. Step one says, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, and that's the asking part of it. And you could not come to any of those conclusions, or many of them, without your observational senses. And so we're not trying to talk you out of seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching. We just want you to know that once you have identified that you want something, then using those senses to take score of where you are in terms of the manifestation of it is counterproductive. So it's like step one is ask, step two is source delivers it vibrationally, and step three is you've got to tune into the vibration of it so that you can translate the vibration of it into the thing that you want, or into the experience you want, or into the having of whatever it is that you want. But most of you are so involved in seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching that you use your observational senses to help you with step one. I know what I don't want, and therefore I know what I do want, and what I do want is a new vehicle, or what I do want is a new relationship, or what I do want is an improved relationship, or what I do want is a better job, or what I do want is. And once you've identified what you do want, now we want you to stop noticing that what you do want isn't. That's what's tripping you up, is the taking score of what you want. So you're not letting step one serve you in the way that it could. You're letting it serve you. You're launching the rocket of desire. You're creating a vibrational reality. It's what your vortex is, your vibrational reality. When you ask for something, it becomes vibrationally. And all that is source energy, your inner being, the very beginning of that which you are, all that you are, then gives undivided attention to this new birthing of this new desire, and holds it in a vibrational place where it can be yours. But you often are not tuning in to that vibrational place, because you're still stuck in the step one place where you know what you don't want and you know what you do want, and you're noticing what you don't yet have. You just can't get there from there.